All right. So, correct tool for the job. I mean, you could use anything, but I like to use the old Swiss Army knife. Genuine. It's been with me for years, and I haven't lost it yet. Usually, yeah. Jeez, I don't know if you saw that, but I almost cut my thumb off. But I got pretty tough thumbs. Um, so there it is. Oh, also, yeah, I guess I wanted to. We can take this clip off here and do some zooming in here. Maybe you can see more what I'm talking about. Oh, that's the brightness. Uh, when I'm talking about these like pads that the plus and the minus connect to, you can see right here. There's like these little lighter colored lines, and up here, basically these kind of like separate the different pads from each other. If you scratch away all this white, there's going to be a lot of copper here, and it'll be running right next to each other with just these gaps between it. And it can be kind of confusing because this up here is real thin, and it's just these are the traces as they're called, and the pads. Um, this one is actually a little bit easier to see how it actually goes, especially after you take off the cap and you look at it. You see that the positive actually comes out here, and then it turns into this whole block here. But this up above that block, that is probably the negative return for something. It's like you'd have to follow that whole thing. And so yeah, when you're trying to figure this stuff out, an easy thing to do is to just go ahead and even just with this probe, sometimes I'll just scratch some of this away so I can get at it if they're not providing good test points that make any sense to me. Um, and then you can use your voltmeter and continuity, and that's a little safer too. You can see which pads are connected to what. So I just wanted to kind of explain that a little bit. But as you can see, the way that they design their strips are totally different. How they actually run them in series, I mean, I don't know. It seems like it should be pretty simple, plus the minus, but maybe they do some tricky things. Uh, and the other thing I wanted to mention was about the meter. Maybe we'll zoom back out here. Oh, yeah, I still don't have this good. So it shows a voltage on there, and that's a handy thing when you are testing these LEDs. You pay attention to that voltage, and you can tell, how much the individual LED actually uses. And you'll see that when it first starts up, it's like 2.5, but when it finally like fully becomes bright and stabilizes, it hits around 2.7. You saw it hit 2.8 for just a moment there, and that's pretty normal. Uh, I mean, in my experience, for these LEDs to be about 2.7, but I've seen them be 3 point something. I even saw one that was like 6 point something. So they're not all the same, and that's definitely something that you want to verify when you're gonna take a replacement. You want to make sure that this, that it's gonna act the same in the circuit and have the same voltage rating, voltage drop, I guess is what they call it, forward voltage drop on a diode. So that's the plus, and that's the minus, and you can see that, yeah, 2.7. So electrically it should be pretty similar. Um, but as you can also see, if we zoom in a little bit more again, They don't look the same. They're not exactly the same. Like shape, size-wise, I think the Kenmore one's a little bit bigger, and it has more of this white plastic material on the outside, whereas this one is more taken up by the actual LED. I don't really know how these things are made. It's some kind of materials. But yeah, that's real scientific. Okay, so in order to get this off, we got to be pretty careful because too much heat, it'll just cook it. And you'll get, yeah, sure, you'll get it off of there. But it'll be all fried. And it won't work. Or it might not last long. That's the worst. You get it off of there. Oh, it still works for a little while. After you put the TV back together and then it fails. Getting the old one off is easy. So you do that first. Like as a practice. Get that off of there. You can even, I think I've seen people just like cutting these off of there or whatever. But I'm going to use the hot air and get it to slide off of there nice and clean. I'll put a bunch of flux on there first. And yeah, I'm not that great at hot air soldering yet. I've done it. I have done it on a couple of these strips before. I have affected repairs. I fixed TVs doing it. But it was pretty messy. And hopefully I can have a little more patience this time and I'll do a better job. All right, that'll be the next video.